Thousands of satisfied customers can't be wrong, or so we're told by firms like Toyota and Verizon. McDonald's claims over 60 billion served. eBay displays the number of bids and watchers of an item. Bartenders, street musicians, and deli clerks salt their tip jars. Nightclub ushers limit the number of people let in so that long lines form outside. And canned laugh tracks are still used on sitcoms today. What do all of these examples have in common? They are applications of the social validation principle, also known as proof in numbers. Humans tend to feel an idea is more valid if others tend to support it. Presenting lists of supporters or donors is known as the list technique. Publishing lists of donors in high art programs, in other words, those of opera, Broadway, ballet, is a special case of the social validation principle. It increases donations by validating people's memberships in higher society. After all, their names are included on the list with the other members of higher society. The social validation principle relies on perceived social norms. Everybody is doing this, or everybody loves this. But before we look at this further, it is important to understand the difference between descriptive and injunctive norms. Descriptive norms describe what people do. Injunctive norms describe what people should do, what is appropriate. Why do we care? Well, sometimes well-intended communications actually send the wrong message. For example, we now have reason to believe that the American Lung Association's anti-smoking ads may have backfired. They were designed to promote injunctive norms against smoking by claiming that it's not cool. However, they did this by showing all these high school students and college students smoking, thereby promoting the descriptive norm, and thus the idea that everyone is doing it, so it must be okay. Smoking rates among students have declined, but more likely because of higher cigarette prices and more regulations banning smoking in public areas and campuses that came around at the same time that these ads were being shown. Now, this is speculation, but it's a great example of the limitations of observational studies. And it did allow researchers to form hypotheses and to test them with true controlled experiments, which have lent credence to this belief that the ads themselves probably backfired. Bob Cialdini demonstrated the power of the perceived social norms technique using descriptive norms in his litterbug study. First, research assistants manipulated descriptive norms by thoroughly littering half of the floors of a large parking garage and thoroughly cleaning the floors of the other half, and then tucked flyers regarding auto safety under the windshield blades of parked vehicles in both of these areas. The results were so clear. People were significantly more likely to litter, in other words, throw their flyer on the ground, on the littered floors, where it was clear from the descriptive norms that everyone was doing it. Marketers often use this perceived social norms technique in images to implicitly mess with consumers' norms regarding how much of a product should be used. Examples abound, but one of the most blatant is found in most toothpaste ads, and it's really interesting to study these over the years. So first, ads showed like a 1/4 inch of toothpaste on an inch-long set of bristles. Then the toothpaste grew to 1/2 inch, then 3/4, then a full inch, and now it is not unusual to see it actually doubled over like this image on the slide, doubled over onto itself. Now, exactly how much toothpaste does the American Dental Association recommend you use for effective cleaning? A pea-sized portion. Don't believe me? Look it up.